Shalom, this is Yahismagnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled Child Support and Unemployment. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, guys, let's get to it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this video because there's information going around in the Facebook groups and on YouTube when it comes to child support and unemployment. Okay, one of the things that I heard pertaining to child support and unemployment that stood out to me the most was that in order for the child support enforcement agency to garnish the income of your unemployment benefits, the obligor and the child support enforcement agency must enter into a voluntary agreement allowing the child support enforcement agency to garnish the unemployment benefits. So we're going to find out if that statement completely true or not. Okay, like I tell you all, do not take my word for it. Do not take anyone else's word for it who's teaching you information about child support. Always study and do your due diligence, okay? But not only study and do your due diligence on the information, study and do your due diligence on the individual who's claiming to teach you this information, okay? Understand, find out if that individual truly offer child support. Find out if that person won his own case. Okay? Find out if that person even helped anyone else win their case. Okay? As I stated before, if you're going to someone for assistance and they haven't won their own case, how do you expect them to help you win your case? And it's just that simple, guys. You know, how smart does that make anyone to go to someone for assistance with child support if that person who they're going to assistance for is still on child support? It doesn't make that person wise at all, guys. Okay, so get proper understanding of what's going on. Okay, like I stated, just don't take anyone's word for it. Don't take my word for it or anyone's word for the information that they provide. Do your background on that person and also do your background on the information they provide. And it's just that simple, guys. Okay, so now let's pick this up at the top because we're coming from the IRS.gov website, okay? So now, as we can see at the top of the screen, it states what? What if I receive unemployment benefits? The reason why we're on this website is to show you guys what exactly is unemployment benefits, okay? So now let's scroll up. It states, unemployment compensation you receive under the unemployment compensation laws of the United States or of a state must be included in your income. So now, why would it say it must be included in your income? Because the next sentence will break this down clear. The next sentence clearly states that, let me highlight it, it is taxable income. So we know that child support has the obligation and or rights to garnish taxable income of the obligor. Okay? By use of what? By use of an income withholding order. And it's just that simple. To further prove it's taxable income, let's finish reading the next sentence. If you receive unemployment compensation, you should receive Form 1099-G showing the amount you were paid and any federal income tax you elected to have withheld. So now you know that they give you an IRS Form 1099-G to report the information pertaining to unemployment. Okay, so now that we went over that and we found out that unemployment is in fact taxable income that could be deducted from the child support enforcement agency. Let's go to the law, or should I say the United States code that is being used to teach the information that you must enter into a voluntary agreement with the child support enforcement agency in order for the child support enforcement agency to garnish your wages. Let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're coming from Cornell Law School. The reason why we're coming from this website is to go over the code that is being used and quoted by the individuals teaching you guys that the obligor must voluntarily enter into an agreement with the child support enforcement agency, allowing the child support enforcement agency to voluntarily withhold the wages of the obligor's unemployment compensation. Okay, so we're going to go directly to the spot so we can get to the meat and potatoes. Okay, so now you all can see we're coming from 45 CFR subsection 302.65, withholding of unemployment compensations. So this is the, again guys, this is the code that is being used and quoted to, you know, to spread misinformation. Okay, so now let's pick it up at C. C states what? Functions to be performed by the 4D agency. Then it states the 4D agency shall, let's go to 2, because this is where it's at. This is the part that they quote. It states, shall enforce unmet support obligations by arranging for the withholding of unemployment compensation based on a voluntary agreement with the individual who owes the support. And that's where they stop at, guys. They read no further. They stop right there. And they say, see, it states that the person who owes support must enter into a voluntary agreement with the child support enforcement agency in order for the child support enforcement agency to enter an income withholding order against the unemployment benefits. Okay, but they fail to continue to read what's written after that. Then it states clearly, or. Okay, the key word in this whole statement is or. It states or in appropriate cases which met the case section criteria established under paragraph C3 through legal process pursuant to state or local law. Okay? Through legal process. So if you have a child support order against you, that went through legal process. Okay, so now the agency has a right, because they have an order in against you, to enforce and apply their strict enforcement taxes they use in order to get paid. Okay, like I stated, the child support enforcement agency can withhold income, okay, of the alleged obligor. So we know that unemployment benefits are considered to be income. Okay, so once they have that support order in against you, then they now can proceed and go after your unemployment income. Okay, let's continue. Then it states if, another key word, if a voluntary agreement is obtained, the agency must give the SWA a copy of the voluntary agreement. Okay, that's only if the agreement is obtained. But they don't need an agreement if they have the child support order against you during the according to paragraph C3 through the legal process pursuant to state or local law. Okay, so now let's go to C3, which is right here. Establish a use criteria which are reflected in a record. What record? The record that's filed into the court. Let's continue. For selecting cases to pursue via the withholding of unemployment compensation for the support purposes. Okay? Then it says these criteria must be designed to ensure maximum case selection and minimum discretion in the selection process. So again, guys, okay, if they have an order in against you, no matter if you sign a voluntary agreement or not, that order allows them to attack the unemployment benefits, okay? So in order for you to stop them from attacking your unemployment benefits, you must challenge the original support order against the obligor. And it's just that simple, guys, okay? But now, since we went over the Code of Federal Regulations, let's go to the states. So let's go to Virginia, since you guys know that, I defeated my case in Virginia. So now let's go to Virginia to see exactly what it states in Virginia. Let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're coming from the Code of Virginia, right? Let's continue. It states what? Subsection 60.2-608. Child support interception of unemployment benefits, okay? This is the state side now. We went over the federal. Let's go over the state. The state side. A. Any individual filing a new claim for unemployment compensation shall, at the time of filing such claim, disclose whether or not the individual owes child support obligations as defined under subsection G of this section. If any such individual discloses that he or she owes child support obligations and is determined to be eligible for unemployment compensations, the commissioner shall notify the state or local child support enforcement agency enforcing such obligations that the individual has been determined to be eligible for unemployment compensations, right? Then it says B, the commissioner shall deduct and withhold the following from any unemployment compensation payable to such individual. So again, guys, it's not my words. I don't make this up. I do not come on YouTube just to tell you guys things you guys want to hear, just to get you all to believe and to rock with me. No, I tell you guys the truth, if and the truth will make you free, okay? You have to first want to accept the truth. Sometimes the truth make you mad first before it make you free, okay? But hey, get mad. Do what you have to do to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and continue the good fight, okay? Like I tell you guys, we know that child support is what? Child support is recuperation of taxpayer funds. Okay, so if the state is issuing the unemployment checks, you know the state going to get their cut that's owed to them first through income withholding order, and it's just that simple, guys. Okay, so now to further prove that, let's go to the federal manual child support real quick. Let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see, we're coming from page 8-69 of the Federal Manual Child Support, okay? So let's pick this up at the top where it states, how effective is child support enforcement? Then it states, since the inception of the federal-state child support program in 1975, there appears to have been growing public awareness of the problem of non-payment of child support and increased willingness by taxpayers to spend money trying to improve child support enforcement, as measured either by expenditures or total collections. The federal-state program has grown rapidly since 1978, to the extent that private agreements fail to ensure child support payments. Our laws and, increasingly, our practices bring child support cases into the public domain. In view of these changes in law and practice, it seems useful to provide a broad assessment of the performance of the nation's child support system in general and of the CSE program, Title 4D of the Social Security Act in particular. Impact on taxpayers. One useful measure of the federal-state program is the impact of collections on TANF costs. As outlined above, states retain and split with the federal government child support collections from parents whose children are on TANF. In addition, states often can retain part of collections from parents whose children were on TANF in the past as repayment for taxpayers provided TANF benefits. So as you all can see, child support is nothing but a collection of taxpayers' benefits, okay? It's a recuperation of taxpayers' funds. That's it, that's all. So let's read it again. Repayment for taxpayers dash provided TANF benefits. But let's continue. As shown in Table 8-1 above, after a long period of steady growth, TANF collections declined from a high of nearly $2.9 billion in 1996 to $2.5 billion in fiscal year of 1999 and increased back to $2.9 billion in fiscal year 2002. Despite its many successes, the overall financial impact of the child support program on taxpayers is negative, as shown in Table 8-5. Program expenses totaled $2.7 billion in 2002. So again, guys, child support is nothing but a repayment of taxpayers' provided TANF benefits. So it's to recuperate taxpayer funds, guys. So that's all I'm going to do for today, okay? So, again, we proved that if you have a court order done by a support magistrate, then that support magistrate order that's entered in against you is enough to have the support child support enforcement collection agency to put an income withholding order against your unemployment benefits, okay? Now, the only time they would need a signature from the obligor is if the obligor doesn't have a court order support payment or against the obligor, but he voluntarily went down to the agency and signed and put and signed and agreed to pay child support. Like in my case, right? They had brought me down to the agency. I went down to the agency and they threatened me that if I leave, they was going to have me arrested if I didn't sign. So through that threat and out of my own ignorance, I signed. Okay, but because I voluntarily signed at the agency, that's an agreement between me and the agency. Okay, so just like I voluntarily signed to agree to pay through the agency, I can unvoluntarily and remove my signature and no longer pay through the agency. Okay, so the agency didn't like that, so the agency tried to bring me down to the court to enforce the agreement that I signed with the agency. But the agency couldn't get body attachment with me and the signature, okay? So that's why they couldn't proceed forward in that case. So that's the difference in certain people's cases. Some people have administrative support cases, and some people have administrative support orders. Okay, an administrative support order is done before a magistrate. An administrative support case is done between the person and the agency. Okay, he didn't go before the magistrate. He just simply voluntarily, or he or she just simply voluntarily signed. Okay, so know the differences, guys. Understand what you're in there for. Okay, like I told you all, if someone is providing information, do your research on that information. But not only do your research on the information, do your research on the person who's providing the information. Okay, also understand that if the person who's providing information is still on child support and haven't won his own case, then how can they help you win your case? Okay, if the information they're providing ain't working for them, then how can it work for you? Make it make sense to me, okay? So again, that's what I'm gonna do for today. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Also, guys, I got some good news, man. The apparel is on its way, man. I got that merch coming. It's gonna be real nice quality merch, man. I think y'all gonna really like it. I'm taking my time. I'm putting my hard sweat and tears in this, guys. So I just want you all to check it out. I'm gonna be posting it shortly, guys. And should I say in the very near future, I'm gonna be posting it. So check me out, man. Go to my store, cop some things and stuff like that. I'll let you guys know when it's up and running and ready to be purchased. Okay. So again, that's all I'm gonna do for today. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. With that being said, guys, I say shalom.